A higher body count, more gore, what more do you want? Let's talk about it. Hatchet 2 picks up right where Hatchet left off, and I mean literally right where Hatchet left off. After Mary Beth escapes Victor Crowley, she learns that there is more to her family's past than what she bargained for. Agreeing to help Mary Beth in her plot for revenge, and also carrying out his own secret agenda, Reverend Zombie hires a group of hunters to go out and take down Victor Crowley. Now, I am very fortunate. I got to see this movie in the theater. Me and a couple of buddies, we made about an hour-and-a-half trip to go see it, and it was pulled the next day, but there's my movie ticket. Hatchet 2, October 1st, 2010 at a 9:50 p.m. showing. So happy we got to see this movie in the theater, and it's bullshit that it got pulled out. Adam Green's talked about this multiple times, and I agree with him fully. It's a slapstick, slasher comedy movie that is just over-the-top gore and just a fun movie. Nothing sadistic about it, nothing crazy about it, so it's unbelievable some of these other things that get in with an R rating. This movie goes in unrated and they pull it because people are bitching. But continuing on with the movie, this is a very solid sequel. And it sets a very different tone. There's still a lot of quirky dialogue and still fun characters and everything, but the tone in this film is definitely a lot darker than the first one. Danielle Harris takes over the role of Mary Beth. Kane Hodder reprises his role as Victor Crowley. Tony Todd comes back as Reverend Zombie and has a much larger role in the film, and Tom Holland comes in to play Mary Beth's Uncle Bob. One really nice thing about Hatchet 2 is it's not just some dumb sequel that has a bullshit plot and it's just carrying through the motions to get Victor Crowley on screen killing people. This movie actually has a much bigger story and a much bigger plot than the first Hatchet. Mary Beth and Reverend Zombie are each carrying out their own agenda, and you'd never really know what Reverend Zombie's planning to do, so you're really interested in Tony Todd's character just to see what he's really up to. And Mary Beth is carrying out this plot for revenge, and it's always cool to see a woman that kicks ass in a film. Another really nice thing to this, too, is you get a bigger backstory to Victor Crowley, you learn a little bit more about him, and you also get to find out exactly what he is. The one thing that the movie lacks just a little bit is the characters. In the first one, the characters are much more fleshed out, and they're a lot more interesting. This time around, you do get to know the characters a little bit, but they're not as interesting as everybody from the first movie. A lot of this is probably due to the fact that there's a deeper story in play here, so you're a lot more interested in what's going on with that than you are the characters. So for the most part, a lot of the characters are there just to be killed, but they do get fleshed out a little bit. And Victor Crowley is way more intense and way more furious in this sequel. Now, coming off of the first Hatchet, you would expect all of the kills to be really good and thought out, and this does not disappoint one bit. Every kill, once again, is very unique and kicks ass. Now, I remember when I saw this in a theater, there was one kill in particular that had me cringing a little bit, and it's just the way that it was filmed and all the other sounds that are going on at the same time. It is just such a sinister scene, but it is so good. Once again, everything is done with practical effects, and there is plenty more gore to go around. I absolutely love Hatchet 2, and I enjoyed it just as much as the first one. It's a little less comedic and a darker tone, but I really like that they didn't just rehash everything from the first movie. This movie was different in a lot of ways, but still had the same memorable things you loved about the first one. If you've seen Hatchet 2, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and let me know if you're excited for Hatchet 3. And as always, if you like this review, make sure that you give it a thumbs up, and be sure to check out some of my other videos. If you want to follow everything else that I do, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, keep it groovy.